Pleading for compassion, Bernie Madoff is asking the federal government to release him from prison due to terminal kidney failure. Madoff is currently serving a 150-year prison sentence for orchestrating the largest Ponzi scheme in history. Here now is Bob Bianchi, an attorney. Bob, thank you for joining us. What are the odds that he gets something like this?
Well, you have to understand this is a legal issue, and while there's a lot of emotional temperature, when I was prosecutor, I know in financial crimes, the victims were more agitated about that than in cases like murder and rape. So I get that. But nevertheless, there is a law, and this compassionate release law says that if you have an end-stage illness with regard to an organ, that you are eligible for this compassionate release. And that is exactly what he has. In fact, the Bureau of Prisons isn't really arguing that at all. He's in palliative care right now. What they are saying, however, is that the judge should balance that with the severity of the crime that was committed, and he shouldn't be released for that reason. Melissa, I will tell you, though, that there was a decision out of New York recently in the Bernard Ebbers case. You may remember that.
Bernie Ebbers, yeah.
Where he received a 25-year sentence for a $2 billion fraud there, and a judge in New York actually released him in similar circumstances, indicating that essentially he served a life sentence. He spent many years in jail. This was not a slap on the wrist, and more importantly, that judge ruled that this does not say that there's not deterrence and there's not punishment, but under the compassionate care aspects of the law, he should be released. So he does have, Bernie Madoff, an obligation or an opportunity here.
So I'm always wondering about everybody's incentives in this sort of thing, and this is a North Carolina facility. Is it costing them a fortune to take care of his care, and if they release him, does somebody else pay for that? I mean, is there a reason that the prison would want to get rid of him?
That's a great question. The fact of the matter is, yes, it costs an exorbitant amount of care. There's a diminution of medical care in federal facilities. We've been talking that for an extraordinary period of time. He needs extensive care where he is right now. So if he is released, let's keep in mind, he still is under the custody and control of the Bureau of Prisons with significant restrictions, but it would be a cost savings to the taxpayers.
I mean, it's amazing as you look at this, it was $64 billion that he ripped off. I mean, it's always unclear on the math and all of these things because you don't know how much was there in the forensic accountants and all that. As of January, more than, it looks like from this $1.4 billion has been recovered. There's a lot of people who are not recovered from this who would be really upset if he's out at all.
Yeah, the judge is going to weigh the fact that this was an ongoing pyramid scheme that has ruined financially so many people. There doesn't seem to be a tremendous lack of remorse, and you can be assured that the lawyers for the Bureau of Prisons are going to say that's exactly the reason why he should not be released. It's going to be an interesting call for the judge to make.
Yeah. All right, Bob Bianchi, thank you.
My pleasure.